Welcome to Peterborough Cathedral. Just gone through into the precincts, and I'm going to be doing something I've not done for 47 years. So back in 1974, having just started at secondary school, the class were taken on a tour of the cathedral, which included going up to the roof and the tower. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm joining a little tour group. It's actually some friends from Rotary, and we're going to give it a go. And the cathedral here in Peterborough is one of the almost unknown, sublime, wonderful gems in the United Kingdom. I'm always amazed at how many people I meet, or I'm not really amazed anymore. I meet lots of people who've got no idea really where Peterborough is, no idea it's a city, and they've got no idea it has one of the finest cathedrals anywhere in the world. So it's of Norman origin, like so many of our cathedrals, stands on the site of much older abbeys and religious houses here, and was built by the Normans the 11th and 12th centuries. And that is the west front, absolutely superb.
This is obviously the third building on this site. Primarily it is still a place of worship, but of course the architecture and the beauty of the building is astounding. You'll have a really brilliant tour up there. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But primarily it is a place of worship. This is the third building on this site. The first one, 655, lasted till 870 when it was destroyed by the Vikings. 970, there's 100 years without an abbey. 970, the second abbey, destroyed by fire in 1116, and the clear-up and tidy up took a couple of years, and the money started again in 1118. So started at the East End, always start at the East End, and then of course they can build a certain amount and then use it. Finished at the West End in 1238, so that's 120 years. So during that period, obviously lots of things will have delayed it, lack of money, all different sorts of events and everything. But for you stonemasons, there are same stonemason marks down there as there are up there. You'll see some when you go up. So obviously passed down through the family, father to son. But for you especially, when we go up behind the apse, do make sure you look at the pillars. This side of the pillars. So look at the windows as well, but make sure you look at the pillars because you'll see stonemasons marks on there. And they're all like you should them, they're quite interesting. Right, now where we're going to, I have introduced you, Kate, so you'll be bringing up the rear. Where we're going to go, we're going to enter in the North Lay vestry over there, and we're going to climb up to the triforium level. We're then going to look at some very interesting things around there. We will go round behind the high altar, round the end of the apse, along here, round across the south transept, and over here, where we'll have a really good look at the nave ceiling. You can get a much better look at the ceiling from up there. We will then retrace our steps, and we will climb this corner. We'll go across there, the north transept, and we'll climb it. And we'll walk on the other side of that ceiling. Then we'll go in the lantern tower. This is the lantern tower. We will go round there. You'll get some magnificent views of the tesserae floor and the high altar from up there. And then our last climb will be outside. Now, if anybody does get dizzy or a bit concerned by the heights at all, on the lantern tower, there's some pillars that you can stand behind, and as we walk around, we'll pick you up again. Okay. Outside, come back in, and we will walk along the outside of the north nave roof into the bell tower. Look at the west front, and then down from there and come into the new shop. and we have asked to make sure there's somebody in the shop so that we don't get locked in, because now we've got the new shop, they're just putting it together and the gates, they're locked if nobody's in it, so I don't want us all climbing over. Okay, are we all ready to go then?
Yep, we're ready. Yeah, so it's the start of the climb. We'll see how we get on.
So the templates, somebody tell me what the templates are for. Sorry?
To get the same profile.
Yeah, they're for each tower. There's a couple for each tower. So the idea was if the towers ever came down again, we have the templates to rebuild them. But
Right.
the cathedral has since obviously been scanned, digitally scanned and everything. So everything is now on computer. But they usually amuse the children when they see those. But yeah, that's what they were for.
Fantastic.
So, something else quite interesting here. I'll show you this now. Show you these now because you're going to, when you climb up some right outside. Yeah. These are not for your safety while you're up there, but these are the fire warden's helmets that were left behind. But the fire warden's helmets I'll show you now because when you go up to the tower, right at the top, you'll appreciate how very brave and fit these men were, because they were perched on the top of the tower looking out for enemy aircraft during the war. And there were a couple of planes heading towards the cathedral one night, and they dropped incendiary bombs. Now, you'll see the roofs when we go up, they rolled down, and we're going to walk where the bombs dropped later on. But these very brave guys came running down the stairs from the tower, had scoops type things, didn't they, Kate? Some scoop type things. And they threw these bombs right over. And I think the only thing damaged was a tomb or something, that, you know, a monument. The cathedral wasn't damaged. But you wait till you see where they had to run down. And you'll think, how did they do it? I don't think they did it two at a time, but you never know.
Thank you.
There's a masonry mark there.
We had a photography course and we were taking them all around on Saturday and we're going, make sure this camera's back there. Because they had, you know, serious valuable cameras.
So a collection of damaged and fallen pieces from many years worth of recovery and restoration. So a good view of the side chapels.
There are only 4 of them now like this, and this is the largest. There's 4 in Europe. This is the largest and the only one in the UK. Made of German oak. It is a beautiful polychrome ceiling, which just means multicoloured, painted. The nail heads are not painted, so it leads us to believe it was painted on the ground and then fixed up in the ceiling.
We're getting a good workout now. Further ascent up to an even higher level. Just hope the knees hold up. Use the grab rails put in for Prince Charles.
Was that the grab rail for Bishop?
Well, I imagine, I'm sure, yeah. I imagine so. And we're still going up and up.
Good leg workout.
We're now, I'm sure if you look at the step on, you now know where we are. We're above the raw transept ceiling. So we're above the place where we came in the door on the corner. Does anybody smell smoke today?
Yeah.
A bit smoky.
So many of you will know about the fire in 2001, where a candle was left deliberately under plastic chairs. And luckily, a verger was going home late from work and he saw the light and the flames and called the fire brigade. And we were only within 15 minutes, I'm told, of losing the nave ceiling.
Virtually at the top of the lantern tower. So it's a case of watching your feet around here. Very narrow, very dark. Hidden plates and other items. So this is the view looking east. So fantastic views of the mosaic flooring, the Italian marble and the very, very ornate high altar. Quite sublime. And on the edge here are the Roman numerals which mark the masonry, so coding, the mason's coding for putting the cathedral together. And a bit more squeezing in. It's a good thing I'm relatively slim. And a bit more jiggery pokery. Oh, we're going to have to come down again. I think we come down in the lift, don't we?
Is that right? I'm going to do that. Abseiling, are we?
Oh, we're abseiling. Okay, oh, good.
We're there.
We're there now, are we? Yep. There's a very narrow doorway to get through. There we go. There we go. Good. Oh. Certainly worth it for the views.
cloudy, it was hazy.
Yeah.
It was a job in. We were up here about lunchtime,
Yeah.
and you can hardly see the wall. It's so cloudy. It's basically the rising pylon, the yellow thing. Yes. Yes. You can just see that it's not straight. It's
It's just more or less above the trees. Yeah. Walk along the north nave roof here and into the bell tower. Now that, you think you've been through some small doors, that is a small door. So, I usually put my leg in first and then the rest of the
Only you have to keep your head down because the stairs go up a little bit, so you've got one of those wide stone areas.
Just a door to
What happens is like
So heading west along the North Transept. Still enjoying these wonderful views. Everything looks very strange from higher up because everything's sort of foreshortened in a way. You can see further, and therefore everything in the near ground comes nearer. So this is God, yeah, this is. You have to be a bit of a contortionist to get through here. Wow.
This, I think, dates from about 1200, but of course the big log will be older because to be used for the purpose it would needed to have been very well seasoned. And it was moved about, obviously, and you'll see here where it was taken apart and moved about. So we always say it was the original IKEA flat pack, this was, yeah? Because you can see where it's sections and it was moved about. Also, apparently a man on using this could lift 10 times his own weight. I think it's the scale of the axis that isn't it, that makes it.
10 foot.
Yeah. I think it was found in the South Tower at last, wasn't
It was found in the tower that's capped off, that wasn't finished, it was abandoned.
Yeah. So there's about I think there's 4 other cathedrals have one of these, but I think this is probably, I think I'm led to believe this is probably the best one. We're now still on the west front, and originally there wouldn't have been glass in these windows, of course, and on high days and holy days the monks would be up here and they would sing. So put these sort of pegs down below, that would sound like some heavenly choir, or some angels from heaven singing, because in these recesses there are statues and of the windows, and of course they're not very painted then, so the statues would be painted. And so they would sing on high days and holy days. So it was known as the singing gallery. Also what we have up here as well, if you look over there, the Victorians were obsessed with the fact the building was falling down. So the white crosses you see on the outside are attached to those metal rods. But when we get really bad storms, these troughs don't cope on their own. So we've had new troughs put in over there.
We're finally heading down and down and down from where we were above the west front, high above the west front, and now it's one fairly wide staircase all the way down to the bottom.